So good.
Oh God, I had to. All right, Noah, what's up?
Not much, man. Not too much.
Happy
Solid
birthday,
win.
Jeff Mead. Solid Wednesday. Continue.
Yeah, yeah. Solid Wednesday in BMX. Happy birthday, Jeff Mead.
Thought
Have to
that,
buy him a new Audi for his birthday.
yeah, I thought that'd be a great way to start off the stream.
Jeff the joke.
Apparently we started early. I put 9 o'clock.
Yeah, what are you talking about, man?
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
on time to anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, happy Wednesday. Are you recovered
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Corn Huckett yet?
Yeah, I was recovered. Dude, that 10-hour drive will sober you up real quick.
Dude, I didn't recover until I don't even know if recovered yet.
Yeah. Dude, you guys were at a pit stop in Illinois at like fucking 8 o'clock at night or some shit. You guys had a late one, didn't you?
Yeah, we didn't even get headed back home until like we didn't really get headed back home until like 8 o'clock.
That is unbelievable. I couldn't do that, dude.
Yeah, but then we randomly, or maybe it was before that, we randomly ran into Joe Battaglia at a gas station.
Really?
Yeah, like,
A wild Joey Bags, dude.
yeah, it was so random because they left to go to Omaha and go to some haunted something or another, and then we randomly ran into him.
I figured he was starting a trip. That's usually what they do is they like springboard from there somewhere else.
Yeah.
It was really nice to see him there. It was like a total surprise. I was like running around right when the megas started and there was just a wild Joey Bags there, shirt already off, fucking just hanging out, you know.
Yeah.
Um, Jeff's or fucking still talking about Jeff. Joey's one of my favorites, dude. Good dude.
Blasting a big turn down on the giant wall.
Yeah, showed up, shut the wall down, and then just fucked off into the indoor all day, and apparently shredded in there.
Yeah. Yeah, he
and then
did.
and then popped out to see. Um, well, I guess I won't talk about that until later. But
Talk about what?
so what he so he was at the trails, but I wanna structure
Oh, you have a
our corn
plan?
hucket review. Sorta. You know,
Whoa.
one of these days I'll get good at doing these things because I have talking points, you know, and I'll text Casey about stuff. Like that's just kind of what we do. I got so much time in the car to think, like driving 10 hours, you know, and Bree falls asleep as soon as we pull out of the fucking driveway. So I basically drive 10 hours by myself, and then so yeah, I just think about BMX and like dumb shit and listen to
Jeez.
bad emo music. So
Bad emo music. Oh, hey,
yeah,
shout out to Nowhere. I'm wearing the new shirt.
big shout out to Nowhere. That
Yeah.
that's a solid transition, dude. You playing that right there?
No, see, that's what's funny about what you just said about planning talking points
Yeah,
and all this stuff. I don't plan anything. I just
I,
go.
sh- I shouldn't have said anything. I just be like, speaking of nowhere, let's go ahead and recap Corn Hucket. But
I guess that's what we're doing.
yeah, I think it deserves it. Um, yeah, dude, Corn Hucket. Before we drill into like specific things that like we want to talk about, I just want to talk about like the general consensus of this year's Corn Hucket. And I don't think it's much different than like any other year. It's just that like it's a good event, you know, and like all the people that are there are fucking awesome. It's just like Mason said in that one episode of The Scene's Not Dead. It's like a fucking religious experience. You go out there, you get your soul right, and then you're reset. You're good to go, man.
Not
Yeah,
a
it's a fucking
bad,
magical place.
not a bad description of it.
Yeah, yeah. It was like double special for me too, because like last year when I went, it was my first corn hucket,
Yeah,
and it was 3 days after I bought the HHR off Carl, right? So I bought the
yeah.
car, drove it home, and then Friday after work I registered it and then took it to Corn Hucket. First time I ever drove it anywhere, 10 hours. And then
Jeez.
this year, after the crash, after Bree got in the crash in it, this is the first trip after I rebuilt it. And I don't know if you guys have figured this out, but I'm not a fucking mechanic. So like it was one of the most nerve-wracking 10 hours of my fucking life, but made it. It made it all the way there, all the way back.
Yeah, I meant to ask you about the drive home in the newly redone.
Yeah, when I got home and was like doing the once over in the driveway, there was some loose bolts, but they're Loctited now. They're good to go.
That's not
I
scary at all.
and they were important bolts too.
Oh, that's definitely
Yeah.
not scary at all.
Yeah. No, it wasn't just like some fender bolts or something. It was like they were important bolts that were like
Oh my.
not even like snug. I mean, like they were, backed off, and I was like, "Fuck, if that would have came out. That would have been a bad day." But
No
it
kidding.
made it. Yeah. We made it. I got a new starter in it now. So like the whole trip I went down there, I didn't like so I broke the starter solenoid lug off my starter, so I had to crawl under there with like alligator clips and like use the steel me junction. But
And that's how you started it every single time.
yeah, yeah. So I started it, once a night because we were like charging phones and shit in there. So I would just start it like before we went to bed so the battery wouldn't die. And
Yeah.
then ended up needing to jump before we left anyways. But um, no more of that. I got a key start now.
Oh my god. See,
Yeah,
that's what people should know about Noah and BMX, that if you don't already, is that is the core of BMX. Sending it, not knowing whether or not you're going to make it, but just doing it because you want to be there.
there was one point where I thought the trip was fucking over. It was like we were like 7 hours in and Bree's asleep at this point. 7 hours. It would have had to have been this is midnight, right? And we're driving across 52 somewhere in Missouri, and it's when like you're going through the hills. It's like a 2-lane highway,
Yeah.
and there's nobody on the road for miles, dude. Pitch black out, just me. And we come up over this hill, and just in the middle of my lane, I'm in the fast lane doing, maybe 80. Speed limit 70, so I'm nothing too crazy, just cruising along.
Yeah.
I come up over this hill, very like crest of the hill, center of the lane is this like 8x2 fucking black box, dude. It's like 2 foot tall, and I'm just hurtling at it, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking it. Like, there's
It's a
no way I
wrap.
can get out of no way I can get out of the way of this thing. Like, I gotta nail it. And I smashed it, dude. And I thought, for all I know, it's a fucking Black and Decker grill. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't see it. So we pull over. It sounded like we hit a brick wall. Bree wakes up out of a dead sleep. She's like, "What in the fuck was that?" I was like, "I don't know." So I pulled over and I'm sitting on the side of 52 with like a DeWalt light, like looking at the underside of my car. She's all good. Never turned it off. Just drove all the way to Cornhucket. I lost a fog light cover, and I dented the shit out of my brand new muffler. Like, I welded it on the night before I left. I don't know how to weld either, so that like the welds are all shitty. Sam Bussell would be upset. I'll just say it like that.
Noah killed the Mothman.
Yeah. I might add, dude. For all I know, it could have been a body in a box, dude. It was bad. Thing was heavy too.
So, but
Yeah,
you got there. You made it.
yeah, made it, and I made it home, so even better.
What's next in your structured Cornhucket conversation?
Yeah. Well, kind of like specific things. Is there anything that jumps out at you? You wanna preach on about Cornhucket?
Um, I don't know. I think this year I found a little bit more about Cornhucket After Dark than I did last year because
Yeah.
I think I stayed up way, way later,
Yeah.
and it was awesome, and I'm actually really excited for those videos specifically to come out because there's like four of them, and one of them may or may not involve Dave Norrie doing flatland on Carl's kitchen table in his house.
Oh, that was the night before I got there, wasn't it?
No, that was the night of Cornhucket. You were outside. And I just happened to walk inside whenever this was
Oh,
going to be starting. So I was like, oh, perfect. I'm going to start recording. And then,
is
go ahead.
no, I was just wondering if that's like some kind of like nervous tick Dave Norrie has, where it's like if he like feels uncomfortable in a setting, he's like, "What can I flatland on?" Because the next night he was flatlanding on a fucking fire. It's like,
No, no, Carl requested him to do it
oh,
because
okay,
last year, Carrie, Carl's wife, was asleep. when Dave
Yeah.
tried to flatland in the kitchen
Yeah. Yeah.
and she got woken up. And this year she was awake. And so Carl's like, I'm going to request it right now while she's here to say that it's okay. And the entire time I'm like filming this and I'm like, there's no way this video is going to end up on the internet. There's no way. And so I double checked. I have blessings to put it on the internet. And I'm like, it's pretty awesome, to be honest, because like the situation, I'm not going to talk too deep about it because I want people to like be stoked when they see it and not know exactly what's going to happen. But like what the situation was meant that there had to be people helping out so that certain things wouldn't go wrong. So there's 3 people in this, and I don't know if Disabled Dan saved his Instagram story from this or not, but he's helping, and he's filming a story, so he's got his phone facing him. He's using a front-facing camera, and he's eating chips. And then he turns the camera around, and it's Dave Norrie. and then he turns it back around, and he just keeps eating the chips super casually. It was hilarious.
Yeah, dude. The after parties were definitely highlight of the weekend.
And I don't want that to be my my like main takeaway here. It was just that was something I didn't experience as much of last year. So I guess the main takeaway before we go anywhere else is just how many people were stoked and like smiling and also losing their minds at all of the crazy things that happened all day long. It literally, like, the way people talk about Swamp Fest is the way people talk about Corn Huckit with how much they're stoked on it.
Yeah, the thing with like the difference I think is like there's a lot of people that are down to go to Swamp Fest, right? Because it's not as like personal as a Corn Huckit, but like you go to Corn Huckit, and it would be hard for me to pick like an MVP of Corn Huckit, right? Like there's a couple of people that I want to talk about that I've got written down here, but like anybody who's willing to like just, you know, trek out to some dirt road in Nebraska and sleep in Crazy Carl's backyard, like they're a real BMXer, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a different breed of people that go, and the vibes are so good. I fucking hate that phrase, but like the atmosphere is so genuine that I think they should be bigger than they are. But then also you kind of lose some of that magic because it is just Carl's backyard. You know, if you get 3,000 people back there, you're gonna have a bad time. So
I don't know, you might have a really good time.
Oh yeah, I'll have a really good time, but Carl's gonna be fucking pissed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, my first takeaway is definitely the after parties. So we got a little rowdy the second night, but like the first night we were just like drinking beer around a campfire, and it was just really good. It was just a bunch of like dudes listening to Lucero, fucking drinking domestic beer and having a good time, which is, I mean, that's the heart of BMX, you know. The second night we got a little too rowdy. I don't want to apologize to anybody I kept up with my megaphone, but we were having a good time. like we went to start that fire, and like we didn't have any firewood because it's just like we were already pissed drunk by like 10, so everybody's like looking at me because I don't know why they do that, but they're like, no, we need firewood. I'm like, I don't know where the fucking firewood is. Do I look like I live here or something?
You're a natural born leader.
I just started screaming into my megaphone. I was like, hey fuckers, bring me firewood. Right? Did that for like a solid 5 minutes, and then Mason White just comes out of like the darkness. He's like, you need firewood? He's just like that nice. He's just like, hey buddy, you need firewood? Actually, yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So he just hops on some random four-wheeler that just happens to be sitting next to us with the keys in it, which is like the most nowhere BMX thing ever. He's just like, oh, let's get on the four-wheeler, and it's just there.
With a trailer on it.
Yeah, it just pulls a trailer around. And he's like, I sit on the trailer, and he drives me out back to just like the most Midwestern pile of like disassembled ramps and leaves and twigs and shit. and I just started like loading up wood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I spent like 10 minutes just like piling wood onto this damn trailer. And then I turn around to like leave. Mason's fucking gone, dude. There's no Mason anymore. So I'm just sitting there with this running four-wheeler in just, the middle of nowhere BMX compound. And there's like five or six little, or not five or six, that's a shit ton. There's like three or four little campfires going on around. So I'm like poking in these little campfires, like, Mason, what's going on? And I didn't bring the megaphone like a dumbass. Would have made it a lot easier. I spent
Yeah.
like 15 minutes looking for Mason, standing by his like running four-wheeler, until eventually I see him like walking up the trail, like just kind of walking around. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, probably like just like cruising for poon or something. I don't know what he was doing, but he walks up. And he's like, oh shit! I'm like, yeah, oh shit, what's going on here? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, man, I got distracted. And I was like, yeah, that's good. But yeah, that's pretty much the vibe of the Corn Huckit after hours, dude. It's a lot of mischievous actions.
It's a good time. Put it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
It's a great
Fire
time.
riders. Yeah, it was a good
Fire
time.
riders, yes. There's a lot of fire BMX riding, or BMX biking to be proper, in 2022.
Yeah,
That went down, and it was fun. It was fun to
yeah.
watch.
Dave Norrie shows up with a mustache. He's a completely different fucking person. He just turned into a completely different Dave Norrie with that mustache.
It's funny how Dave came up, did his flatland, and then just kind of left, and he like started it, and then just kind of wandered.
What, the fire? The
Yeah,
fire flatland?
yeah.
Yeah. Carl came around like after he was done putting on his fire demo, and he was like throwing us all under the bus. So I walk over there and he's already trying to do like endos and shit on the fire ring. And then it devolved from there into him like pulling up he had that picnic table in the fucking fire. Like I thought it was going to go up cuz it had rained the night before, so it's fine, but like
Yeah.
I thought we were going to have a burning table. And
A burning table.
yeah, so then Carl walks over, and Nori's like throwing us under the bus. Because at first he was like, come on, guys, give me trick ideas. Like, what should I do? And we're like, fucking just be Dave Nori. You'll figure it out. And then Carl comes over and he's like, yeah, all these guys were just telling me I needed to ride the fire. And if there's a crowd, you got to put on a show. And I was like, fucking Dave.
That's funny. I feel like Carl wants us to talk about the actual event,
Yeah,
not
probably.
just talk about shenanigans after the event for the first
I
20
got that written
minutes.
down too. Yeah. Who's your Corn Huckit MVP? You get a handful of them.
Overall, of the entire day,
Just dudes you saw do cool shit. Dudes you like riding with.
I feel like my first thing I would be thinking about here is like overall MVP of the entire day. And
Well, I go weekend because a lot of my favorite stuff didn't even happen on the day of the jam, because we kind of skipped over like what I kept calling like the real jam, because they didn't so they didn't do a jam in the indoor because it's hard to. I mean, you can't. They've got so much shit to ride that you've got to separate out those events. So like this
Yeah.
year was like mega wall, trails, mega jumps. So
Flatland.
like the night before, everybody was like, all right, we got to shred the indoor because
Yeah.
you know. So you got to lump that in there too, because some dudes did some shit during that definitely was like the highlight of it for me. But
Yeah, I guess
anyway.
I feel like Corn Huckit is more of a general term for the entire time I'm at Carl's, more than just that one segment of the day.
Yeah.
Even though when I put out the jam, or the highlights, it will be mostly it's just going to be the event, and there's going to be a lot of other stuff, and then there's going to be
Yeah.
Corn Huckit the movie, which is like the entire just that day.
Corn Huckit the movie too.
Yeah, that. Shot on iPhone 14 Pro.
Oh my god! I thought about hashtagging those clips you sent me. Shot on iPhone. I was like, I can't. Fucking somebody will call me out.
Oh god. Anyways, so if I have to pick a Corn Huckit MVP, I got it, dude. I almost have to go with like Disabled Dan comes to my mind just because
Yep.
no matter where you at, the only thing he didn't ride was Flatland.
Yeah. Well, and like yeah, he's just fucking awesome. It's like I knew he was a good rider. Like obviously I've seen him on Instagram and stuff, but the cool part about it for me is like when you meet somebody that you know from Instagram. Okay, let's say like somebody that's, well, that sounds kind of shitty too. Like somebody who has an Instagram persona. There, we'll say that. Like cuz he's like the double flip guy, right? Like
Yeah.
that's disabled Dan. But then you meet him in like at Corn Huckit and he's just a fucking bike rider. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I saw him all weekend. I saw him one time not riding a bike and it was piss drunk at 3 a.m. Well, I was piss drunk. He was probably stone cold sober, but like I was fucking flabbergasted. You know,
Yeah.
he was just, he never put his fucking bike down. He's stoked on everybody. And then on top of that, like that's enough for me to like make somebody an MVP, right? Like all you got to do is show up, hold a beer and like go like, "Hell yeah, brother." And I'm like fucking stoked on you. But he did that and then did two double flips alongside all the other crazy shit he did in the indoor. Like, yeah, he was just like actually one of my favorite fucking riders from that little nowhere crew. I love it. It's good shit.
Yeah, he well just the way that he was like his energy level is always over the top. Obviously, it's different when you're just hanging out because he's a real person, but like when
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were riding and everything, the level of energy and stoke that he brought to whatever was going on, it would I think 90% of the events at Cornhucket, obviously exclude Flatland, because there was just the Flatland people doing that. I think 90% of the events at Cornhucket wouldn't have been even remotely what they were if he wasn't involved with them.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. He just never stops riding. I mean, I don't even think he took a rest day after Cornhuck, dude. I think he was riding Monday. I
I
think he
think
was like,
based on Instagram stories, yeah.
he just went right back to it. It's actually unbelievable.
And also, that dude fell harder than most people all weekend long, jumped back up instantly, and was going again.
Yeah, what was that on?
Dude, he
Was
crashed
that,
all over the place. He crashed in the building a
oh
whole
yeah,
bunch of
just
times, like
constantly. Yeah.
pretty hard. He didn't crash on the mega wall, but he crashed on the double flip on the mega
Yeah,
a
yeah,
few
on the dirt
times.
jumper. He did the first one. That first double flip he did in the trails. First off, those trails, they're real fucking trails. Like those trails would
Those
have made
jumps were
FBM
gnarly.
guys proud. Like they were legit. Those weren't dirt jumps. Those were fucking trails.
Mm-hmm.
And like he did that. So to set the scene here, like Carl like pulled me out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, you want to judge this?" So it's just
Yeah.
like me and Ted sitting in the back, like drinking a beer, like going like, "Oh yeah, that was a sick fucking X up, right?" So Dan does one backflip and laced, and then you just hear Joey Bags from like back in the corner just go like, "Do the fucking double." Dan didn't say a word. Next run, he just fucking the most laced double flip I've ever seen in my life. Like I've seen a decent amount of double flips. That was the only double flip I've seen on trails with my own eyes, and
Mm-hmm.
regardless of that, the most laced double flip I've seen in my entire life. So, pretty rad.
He did that on the jump with the most lip too. That
Oh yeah.
lip was a straight up like steep quarter pipe.
Yeah, they're fucking trails, dude. There's no.
Yeah.
This ain't fucking gravity games, Brant. We're riding real man shit here.
So yeah, that's my pick for MVP of
Yeah.
obviously except for Carl because Carl helped
Yeah.
makes it all
Well,
happen.
we talk about how Carl doesn't ride brakes
He has
and does
brakes.
all those fucking tire tap. Nah, dude. He was riding a brakeless bike doing tire tap quad bars. And I looked at some, I think I looked at Sam and I was like, "Is that a coaster brake?" And he's like, "Nope. He's just got that big of a dick." Like, that's a big dick.
I mean, that's normal for Carl at this point.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's crazy, dude. The way he fucking locks into him, and I was like, "There's no way that's not a coaster brake." That's crazy.
Nope, just magic.
Yeah. my MVP. I mean, it's hard not to give like all those nowhere guys an MVP because like that is to me like a staple of Corn Huckit. Like at the very least, you know you're gonna go out there and you're gonna see Danimal and you're gonna see Sam Bustle fucking kill it and Haas
Yeah.
Vodka and Mason. You know you're gonna see those dudes just you're gonna see them shred and they're gonna be unbelievably nice to you. That
Hmm.
is what Corn Huckit is to me. So, I mean, I hate to not give them more shine, but it, like that's part of it. That's part of the experience. To me, Disabled Dan was my first pick, but you stole that one. Um, I wanted to bring up Jacob Thiem being out there, because obviously he fucking shreds. Like I don't need to like break that news to anybody.
Hmm.
But the reason I wanted to bring it up is because like seeing him walk around in that USA jersey all weekend, like that was fucking cool to me. And the reason is because you don't see any of those other dudes with USA jerseys walking around stuff like that. And I just thought that was cool. And it like
Yeah.
to share deck space with somebody that is like openly wearing that kind of jersey and then to be just a BMX rider was I don't know, it was fucking heartwarming. It was cool. And like that's the cool part of it to me. 'Cause like I don't need to tell you that he did a fucking 360 quad bar. Like that's
Yeah.
nuts. We all know it's fucking nuts. The cool part to me is like fucking, was giving people high fives and I mean, I don't know if he was crushing beers, but it would have been awesome if he was. But yeah, I just thought that was cool, you know.
Yeah, I
And
could see
probably
it. I
probably the first USA jersey I've seen with my own eyes. So
yeah, yeah. It's an interesting thought because I don't know. There's not that. I feel like there's not that many events at this level in like BMX that you can list. There's under 10, maybe under 5 that happen each year, and so the possibilities of having people who would be wearing a USA jersey are low already. And then, yeah, it's cool. I can't
yeah,
get over this typo that Carl just made. He said, team worked so hard to make it possible. Made love to everyone. He meant to say
made love
Matt.
to every
Matt love to everyone, but
made
said
love
me.
to everyone. Yeah, I bet you did, Carl.
I can't get over that typo. It's like
That's a good one.
making me cry.
Oh man. Yeah, that's the hard thing with picking an MVP of Corn Huckit because Sam Bustle's out there like literally the day before the jam, angle grinding what are probably still fucking warm welds to go put angle iron on the damn pump track. You know what I mean? Like, how is that
Hmm.
not worthy of like a fucking gold medal? You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
it
just
is.
yeah, it's a magical event and everybody deserves like it. Like I was saying earlier with the like you got to be a special person to go. Like you almost deserve a medal just for like going and then putting up with my bullshit while you're there too. Like,
I think another thing that's so awesome about this event is the fact that no matter what your skill level is, people
hmm
are still like stoked when you do something cool. I feel like
yeah,
other BMX events, somebody does an X up, or a kid does an X up, and then a couple of people are like, yeah. But at Corn Hugget, everybody is just screaming the entire time,
hmm
no matter what the skill level is. And then also with the way that awards are structured, five, like each event gets 10 awards, five for the older, more experienced riders to have a best trick, and then uh, five for the younger riders who are doing something that's progressive and good for them. And that's exactly what Carl says at
yep,
the event. And it's a cool way to structure it because it includes everyone. And it's not necessarily on purpose for other jams to, like not be as inclusive of the kids. It's just something that's easy to overlook. So to have intent behind it, I think would be a good word, is I think something that definitely deserves mention.
yeah, absolutely. I got a couple things to knock off here. First, Jeff, no, I did not decade the flatland pad because I was too drunk by the time we were going to ride it, but I did do a decade in the rafters of the indoor. And then, secondly, I forgot an MVP, dude. Ziara
Oh, we gotta
fucking
get there.
killed it, dude.
Um, yeah, I, and then So check this out. So you watch their family Instagram page.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
story or post today of her doing a X up fakie on a coaster bike and like put her foot down, but she did a X up fakie from like if there's a pocket from one side of the pocket, fakied up the other side and almost went back out of it in an X up. I'm like,
Huh. No, I didn't
you're
see that.
literally on the
Yeah.
path to being like the best.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's what I love about like the progression of women's BMX is because like this generation that's coming up, they're not women's BMX riders, dude. They're just fucking BMX riders, and I fucking love
Mm-hmm.
that. Because and I probably say this once a stream, I feel like, but if that happens, then it's not like men's BMX, women's BMX. Like BMX stands to fucking double in user base if that happens, and it's I don't know, it just makes me stoked, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
She
yeah,
definitely
Ciara
gets it.
180'd the step up. Like, and that's what I'm saying.
Literally.
If anybody 180'd the step up, I'd be like, what in the fuck? That was sick. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I don't know. It just gets me going.
Did
I
a
love it.
candy bar over the box jump, ate it
Yeah,
hardcore on the mega jump,
yeah,
then went back and jumped it more. And just
yeah.
the, I don't know, what I think is so sick too about her is that she's just riding with her family in Indiana.
Hmm.
And there's not a
Yeah.
huge scene where she's riding at. So she's gotten to the level she has. Literally just
What you
riding.
got to say about Indiana, Brant?
She's
What's up?
riding, but I'm telling,
I'm just
whatever.
messing. I'm just
She's
messing
gotten as good as
with you.
she has just by riding with her family. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
that's awesome. And especially when she starts getting recognition, people are going to want to send her
yeah.
places. And it's cool.
Hmm. Yeah, she's got a good Instagram too. That's something me and Casey will do is like when people have Instagrams that we think are fucking hilarious, we'll just be like, yeah, you check out this Instagram page. That's
Yeah.
one of them. She just like posts like just shit, you know, just like
I don't even want to talk
just
about it
shit.
because I don't want her to stop. You
Oh,
know,
dude,
like
there's
if we
no
brought
that's
attention to it, I don't want it to stop.
oh no, dude. That's the best part about that kind of Instagram is like you could literally say anything about it. It's just like fucking post whatever, dude. You know.
Yeah.
Unless you're like me and I post like hard to interact with things on purpose. Except for the past couple posts, I guess I've been like gaming the algorithm, but there for a while I would just post like the most shitty quality fucking ass tricks ever. And then like all my friends would just be like hammers and I'd be like, yes, I love it. Like, I don't know. I love that shit.
Yeah.
But all right, well, I guess we should move on with the corn hucking talk.
What are we moving
Um,
on to?
the only thing I have wrote down the last check mark I have on corn hucket says Carl's ass.
I was filming when that happened, and
No
it's
way.
never going on the internet. And I turned the camera because I'm like, and all I hear is no. All you wait, I'm not gonna do that. What you hear afterwards is Noah saying, "That is the cleanest ass I've ever seen in my life."
I wasn't even gonna explain the situation. I was just gonna say Carl's ass and then leave it at that. I was just gonna be like, I saw Carl's ass, and it's up to you to decide whether or not it was in public or private, and then like let everybody decide.
Well, I mean, I didn't say
But
anything more than I was filming, so
yeah, I get okay, so it could be worse. Yeah.
it could be even worse than what you said.
Yeah. So, corn hucket, you like it?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very amazing event to go to where I don't know how there's not like a concise way to describe it.
Got to be there. Any other cool happenings over the weekend you wanna shout out? I don't really have like I've got some other things I want to talk about, but I feel like we need to put a majority of our time into corn hucket. So if you got any stories, break them out now.
Oh man, here, let me. Oh wait, I can't do that without it showing. Actually, you know what? I don't care if it shows. Oh look, the
Uh-oh.
fire. Uh,
Oh, I gotta. This is a complete offshoot, but we gotta do like for holidays, we gotta do like or for whatever, but we could do like campfire BMX talks, and in the background you could like green screen us onto a fucking fireplace. Like, you know how they have the like Yule log on Christmas?
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think Corn Huckit is just the kind of event. All right, I'm gonna pull you back up here because I got nothing to click on in my editing. I think there's a yin and yang, a thing going on, where Swamp Fest is one side and Corn Huckit is the other, and they both make up a circle that is BMX. And
Yeah, you're kind of touching on something I want to get into a little bit later. I mean, I guess not really, but kind of. I think that Swamp Fest and Corn Huckit are serving two completely different sides of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Because like
yin and
I'll go to
yang.
both. Yeah, but it's almost they don't even contrast each other. You know, like because I mean I get what you're saying with the yin and yang. Like yes, I go to Corn Huckit and I go to Swamp Fest for two completely different reasons. But like I don't even know how to fucking say what I'm trying to say. Like to me, Corn Huckit is all like peace, love, like hippie shit. Like I go there to like I go there to like drink beer with Tim Hankins and you know like just talk shit and just hang out, you know. But I feel like the reason people are going to Swamp Fest is more or less for the Instagram post. And I hate to say it like that, but it is kind of like the allure of Swamp Fest is like, oh, we're in the swamp. Trey built these ramps. Like, let's go ride them, get fucked up, and burn them down, you know? And, you know, BMX needs that. I'm not, like, I don't want to shit on Swamp Fest. Obviously, I love Swamp Fest. But, like, yeah, they almost, like, exist in two completely different universes to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, Swamp Fest wouldn't be Swamp Fest if another person hosted it and BMX didn't choose it to be a cool thing.
Yeah, yeah. I see Swamp Fest as like a spiritual successor to Texas Toast. I know that's like a real shitty thing to say, but I do. And,
yeah. Keep that thought going. No, I gotta take a step away for 1 second.
And I see Corn Huckit as like just a, I don't want to say just, but as a BMX jam. Like it's something that I go to. It's something that I would go to almost if BMX wasn't involved. You know, if it was just the people alone and not the bikes, I would still go to Corn Huckit. And I can't say the same for Swamp Fest. So
what he said.
Yeah. Texas Toast was the best BMX event I've ever been to date. Yeah, so the one year I could have made it, I was 16. It was the last one ever, and my mom said no.
My mom said no.
Yep.
What a reason.
Yeah, it sucked, but
yeah,
you know, it's I can understand. Like the people I wanted to go with, I probably wouldn't let my kid ride with. And, yeah. You know what I mean?
I think it also says something that Swamp Fest and Corn Huckit are like brought up naturally at the same time because it's definitely on the same level. Like there may not be 2,000 or 3,000 people, but it's still at the same level of like importance.
Yeah, especially to like, I hate to say it like this, but our side of BMX, yeah, Corn Huckit is like the crown jewel almost.
And
it's a Midwest thing.
Before I forget, the bands. We got to bring up the bands too because that's another big part of the event. Gilligan's. What's the other one? Oh my!
I literally had it in my head, and then you said, "What's the other one?" and it left my mind.
Top Notch Defective.
Yeah, Top Notch Defective. The reason, so Carl fucking tackled me while he was holding the CDs.
Yeah, somebody said that the live stream skipped out when that happened too.
Oh, dude. It's
So
because he hit me so fucking hard.
yeah,
That was like fully authentic too. He didn't say like, "Hey, I'm gonna hit you. Like, let's act this out." He was just like, "Oh, you guys want me to, talk about Corn Huckit while you're doing this news thing?" And then he just, I, I'll
it
just
was
say the
great. You just
Colts
have to
need a new
watch it.
offensive line, dude. You should come. You should come play for the Colts, dude. Come protect fucking Matt Ryan for us because we need it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that having the bands just makes it even better of an event in time, and to I just think they need to at least be acknowledged.
Yeah, there's another way you could contrast Swamp Fest and Corn Huggit there too, because like Swamp Fest is like a spectacle, it's like it's an event for the sake of being an event. So when the bands go on, that's the only thing going on. Like Corn Huggit in itself is kind of an experience. So when the bands go
Mm-hmm.
on, I feel like half the fucking venue is like half the people at Corn Huggit are like off doing Corn Huggit things. And that is kind of a bummer. But I mean, it's hard. It's like herding fucking cats, dude. Like how you got that much land and it's such an intimate environment. Like, they can hear the bands over there and it's not like people are blaring music or anything. So they're still listening, but it does kind of suck when there's like, X hundred people at an event and like 100 of them are watching the band. You know, I'm not okay. That was kind of I ended that on like a super negative intonation, but yeah, the bands to me, they're great. That's probably Bree and I's one of Bree and I's favorite parts.
Yeah.
So, and that bassist from Top Notch Defective, like getting on the roof and shit, it's good stuff, dude. It's good stuff. It's they're good bands, and you can like. Okay, I said that weird.
They're
Like,
good. They're good.
They're good. But you can tell that like that is the level of energy that they're bringing to every set that they play, and they don't care if everybody in the venue is not there or not. Like they would play the same set if it was just me. So it's really good shit.
I just appreciated that at least one person from the bands was wearing a Nowhere shirt.
Yeah. Oh fuck, what was that? I'll go down a rabbit hole trying. The drummer for the Killigans was wearing a T-shirt that I liked, and I don't know. That was like 13 beers ago. So.
I thought it was hilarious whenever they're like, the singer of the Killigans is like, "We are the Killigans, and we don't ride BMX."
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Jeff, this will be a quick tangent, I promise. But Jeff said riding to live bands is awesome anytime, any place. And you said you brought up the We Don't Ride BMX thing. So Ollie's used to have concerts, and they would let you ride the U-Bowl, and they would put the bands at the end of the U-Bowl. And one time I accidentally saw Puddle of Mud. I accidentally saw a Puddle of Mud because we went to go to the caverns and they were having a fucking drone race. So we were like, screw it, we'll go to Ollie's, right? So I left the house with like $80, spent like half of it on gas, and then I get to Ollie's and I'm planning on spending the 20 to get in, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Puddle of Mud's playing, $40 ticket." I was like, I'm about to spend all my fucking money to see a band that I don't even want to see. I mean, it was sick. I'm glad I got to see Puddle of Mud, but I was pretty pissed. And then, yeah, we got to ride bikes to Puddle of Mud on accident. And then, awkwardly, I icy hotted my balls that night too. But that's a whole nother story.
That's a tangent for a different episode.
Yeah, different episode.
That is hilarious. I have my own tangent for bands and riding, because the indoor skate park that I grew up riding, Evolution Skate Park, is a half hour from me. They had a platform just in the middle of the park, and they would have live bands on this platform on Friday nights. And I didn't even, like, I was young enough that I didn't even realize how cool that was. But I can just remember seeing the people hauling in the equipment and then hearing the bands playing while riding.
Yeah, like indoors used to just be built different, and it probably really has something to do with like just the cost of operating now, like what a building costs in the modern world. But like and you can see it in the old, not the old world indoors that still exists, like Four Seasons and Changa. Well, kind of Changa, definitely Ramp Riders. Like they were just built different, whereas like new school indoors are definitely like a lot smaller buildings, and you're trying to get like the most bang for your buck. And
Mm-hmm.
that has its own, like it has its own atmosphere to it. And I'm not saying one's better than the other, but we definitely live in like a different world of indoors with with your Slam Cities and your Wedgewoods and those kind of indoors of
Dude,
the world.
Wedgwood is the kind of place that could throw a legit concert while people
Yeah,
are
yeah.
riding.
Or I was thinking of what is it, Lines now?
Oh, TRP and turned
Yeah, yeah.
lines.
Or like a Skate Naked. Like they're smaller buildings, you're trying to maximize
Mm-hmm.
your margins there, I guess. But
What else
is
about
that our
Cornhucket? Is there
yeah,
anything else to say?
we gotta cap it off. I capped it off with Carl's ass. What's your nightcap on Cornhucket? What do you got?
Oh, man, I gotta top Carl's ass. I gotta think
Yeah.
about that. I mean, I've been editing the video from the weekend, or editing videos. There was 1,440 or so, 1,450 different clips to go through from the entire weekend, like different video files to sort through. And I'm like,
How many
what?
how many minutes of footage do you know?
I have no idea. It's like
Okay.
400 gigabytes. But I'm most of the way through it, and just going through all of the writing and everything, it just feels like I don't know. It's just something I think that most people should experience. Like if you have been to Swamp Fest, you can't like. I feel like you've been to one Swamp Fest, you've been to all Swamp Fest.
In a sense, yeah. I mean, there's definitely like different like overtones to each one, but yeah,
For
pretty
the most
much.
part, they're similar, but like
And
if you've
that's
been to
a
Swamp Fest, you haven't been to Cornhucket. Cornhucket is its own thing that I think everyone should go and experience, just for the love that exists during it. Even just in the 10-minute speech and opening that Carl gives at the beginning, where he makes sure he thanks every single person that he needs to,
right.
alone is just like shows the amount of love and thought that goes into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So like Swampfest is like a new school experience, right? Like it's born and lives inside of modern BMX. Cornhucket's been going on for
10
10
years.
years now. You're catching the tail end of that 2000s BMX hype, right? It really is like a old world event, and it feels like it. You can feel it,
Mm-hmm.
it's got that La Revolution feel where you're just there to ride bikes, and it doesn't matter who the fuck it is. If they do something cool, you're gonna get a couple hell yes, and that's BMX is hell, man.
Everybody gets love, not just the
Yep.
people who are willing to die.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I don't even want to. Let's refrain from talking about Swamp Fest anymore. I feel like it's
Yeah.
just the natural thing to bring up with it.
Well, so how many other festival style events are there in BMX? You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean,
Rumble in Richmond, is that camping event? I don't know. I haven't been to it.
not really. That almost comes into a class of its own kind of thing, and again, that also touches on a point that I kind of want to talk about later. And it's a very scattered point that I didn't think out, and I wish I would have uh, like written some more stuff down for it. But like, yeah, it that's almost like on the, like if BMX had majors, that's almost like getting to be one, like the simple session, Battle of Hastings, X Games. Like now you got Rumble in Richmond, and
I see what
that's
you
up
mean.
there.
Yeah.
And there's a couple others that can pick up that fourth slot, like the Olympics or something, but that's not as core. So Yeah, I don't. But anyways, back to the main point I was making. I do that a lot, don't I? Start to make 2 points at one go. But yeah, like a festival style event. So it's just a real good like. I can't think of another event where you go, you camp on location, you don't shower for 3 days, drink copious amounts of liquor drinks, and
I don't
hang
know.
out
I
with
don't think I
your
can't think
fucking
of any
ratty
others
Hessian
either.
friend. Yeah, there should be more, but I almost would feel bad doing another one in the Midwest.
Yeah, and I think it says something that Carl's doing Corn Hucket at his own house, where like you're inviting hundreds of people to your own house for a whole entire weekend. It's amazing.
I wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Basically,
right.
to sum it up, go next year and experience it because it's worth it. And I mean, what's next? Every year, Carl does something new or builds something new, or there's a new attraction. What could possibly be next? That's what I want to know.
I'd probably just fix the outdoor ramp, right? Hate to
Oh,
be hate to be the voice of reason here, but yeah, that's what I would do.
Carl says my wife is MVP. Yeah,
Yep.
when you
Oh
think about
yeah.
everything that has to be dealt with, had that
Oh
thought
fuck.
earlier.
Yeah. Bree gets mad when I invite one person over. I can't imagine 300. Nah, I'm just kidding. She doesn't get mad. That's a bullshit thing to say. But like, yeah, I can't imagine having a wife and kids and being like, "Hey babe, do you think I could invite like,
Some friends.
3 or 500 BMXers over and have them trash our fucking yard and scream into megaphones until 3 o'clock in the morning and drink beer for 3 nights? Like, would you be down for that? You know, it's a hard sell. I don't know how you pulled that off, Carl, but I'm proud of you.
For 10 years in a row.
Yeah, 10 years in a row.
So what
All
else
right.
do you have? You're so much more structured than I am.
No, this next one's not structured. It's like a crackpot idea that I had, and I'm probably gonna ramble on about it for like 10 minutes, not make any sense, and then you're gonna have to be like, all right, what else? But so the only point we really had during news was like, oh, Doyle's on S&M now, right?
Yeah.
Uh, do you remember the terms of him leaving Kink at all? I can't find anything on it. I did try to do some research, but I can't remember if he left or if they were kind of like, we're letting you go.
I don't think it was ever like a put out there thing. I think from what I gathered. Oh wait, before we get into here,
Yeah, go for it.
freaking Pope says I do want to say that it's not that much drinking. It's just an option. Tons of people come out there and shred and just hang out without drinking, like Sam and Jake. And I want to add to
Yeah,
that, there's families that stay at this event and sleep and camp and everything. So like, don't
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like you're unsafe coming to the event because literally everyone is there. They just decide to go to bed or do whatever they're doing while the fun partying stuff
yeah.
happens after hours.
They just find a way to sleep through my bullshit. Yeah, and I'm sorry about that. That's just kind of like my, like live fast, die young mentality, kind of like draping over it. But that brings up another point to drag it all the way back to Cornhucket that we completely washed over and didn't talk about a single like under 16-year-old rider because there's so many of them at Cornhucket every year.
That's a
Like
great
that.
point. So we're gonna hold
Yeah.
the note on Doyle, and we're gonna go
Yeah.
backpedaling, fakey, all the way back to the youngins of Cornhucket because they deserve the love too. Uh, there was Trent and the Magic Man, I think is his Instagram or something similar. Richard Hogan, that kid's
Hmm.
11 and he literally aired to the flag on the wall. Huck, who's 7, went halfway up the wall, jumped the big jump, did Superman. He learned 360s over the step up, bar
You did a bar
spins.
spin. Yep.
He did bar spins that he was catching in the air. It took me until like now to learn how to catch bar spins in the air.
That's because you're a pussy, Brant.
Listen, that's
I'm just
fine.
kidding.
Uh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
let's see.
Yeah, dude, frickin' Pope deserves a high five for bringing that up because that's a very good point. Yeah, I didn't want to make it sound like it's some kind of shitty teenager party where it's just all drinking and mischievous acts.
No,
That's
and
just Mustache Nori and the Hessian kids in the back by the Capitol bus. That's not everybody.
and just the fact that like for for the couple people who are getting rowdy, there's 20 other people who are just hanging out around that aren't even
Yeah,
like half of them aren't even part of it. They're just hanging
yeah.
out. Uh,
And there's like 10 acres you can go find and like nestle yourself in between 2 ears of corn and find a nice quiet place to sleep.
we got to also bring up the young lady who crashed on the wall and literally did a face helmet grind down the dirt part of that transition and instantly got up and was like, ah, and just kept riding.
Yeah, do you know her name or Instagram handle? I knew it, and then I drank a bunch of beer.
I can
So
find it because
you should.
I'm pretty sure it was her mom. I
Hmm.
think her mom is Cheyenne. I'm not
Yeah, I
positive.
feel I
Okay,
feel
I
good
don't
about
have her
bringing it.
Instagram, but her mom I think is Cheyenne, and I can't remember her name. He's
Oh man,
just seeing if her name's said.
he's like, I'm gonna be the next Nina Roberts. Oh,
Here, for the people watching, look at this. She gets up instantly.
oh. She's up, huh?
She jumped up and grabbed her bike instantly. Kayla? It might be Kayla.
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
The toughest person at that event.
That's what I'm saying. That's not a girl BMX rider, dude. That's just a BMX rider. Like that's the fucking drive to like be a badass, you know what I mean?
Fair
It's
enough.
just yeah.
Kaylin.
Kaylin. There you
Um,
go.
then there was also the Turkey Trails kid.
Yeah, yeah.
He was riding, having fun with Huck. Then Jet,
There we go.
the most well-spoken.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know the word eloquent
Eloquent. Yeah.
10-year-old on the planet.
Yeah, I love that shit. Like just like they just know how to take up deck space, you know what I mean? And even the like because a problem that I feel like all of us washed up Midwest dudes are coming across now is
Whoa,
like
who you calling washed up?
I didn't say you, I said all of us. All of us. Calm down there. But all of all the FBM wearing wash ups. Um like when you meet somebody that you only know off Instagram, it's really hard to come up and be like, "Hey man, I follow you on Instagram." Like it's a weird conversation to
Yeah.
have. And he had that conversation, or I think I had it with him,
You
basically.
had
He
it
was
with
like,
him. It was on,
"Yeah,
and I
yeah,
have it on video too. It is going to
yeah,
be in
yeah."
one of the videos because you were going off like a crazy person doing crazy tricks. And
Didn't happen.
Jet comes
Didn't
up and
happen.
he's like, I think he asked your name, and then he said he was Jet, and you're like, and you said to him, I think I follow you on Instagram.
Yeah,
Like,
no, just the like way he did that, like that's awesome. I don't know. That kind of stuff is what makes BMX to me,
that
Where it's just
kid,
like, dude, who the fuck are you? Like that. I love that.
that kid is rad, and
Yeah,
I don't know. He's just a good
yeah,
kid, and
kills it.
he's yeah, he's killing it too. So
All right.
did we cover them, all of them? Who else do we need to cover? The kids. There was, oh wait, I gotta shout out the one kid. I don't know his name at all, but he had glasses, and Dave Norrie was saying how he put pegs on for the first time, and he was trying to ride some
Yeah.
flatland, and there's a really cool clip where I don't remember if it's captured, where Dave is telling him, take your hand off, but
And he takes
Dave
his
is
hand
telling
off.
him to
Yeah.
take his hand off, and you can see his hand shaking as it's in
Yeah.
the air, like, and then he goes to put it back on, then puts it back up, then puts his hand back on, and what was so cool, and maybe this is enough to sum up Corn Huckit as an event, is that happened, and Dave is like, He's just put pegs on today. Never rode flatland before. Let's hear it for him. And everybody cheers. Everybody in the crowd. This kid who's just riding, has his foot on 2 pegs. He's coasting around, taking his hand off. He's stoked on bikes. Gets a huge, Jonah is his name, gets a huge cheer at an event with hundreds of people. And I think that's a really good point.
I love how Carl just knows every fucking name.
Every single one.
Yeah, that's impressive. And that kid was glued to the flatland pad, dude. He was there for like, because Bree and I were at the flatland pad, like sitting on the ramp watching, and he came up to watch, and then we left, and then we came back like a while later, and he was just glued on it. And then the demo happened, and he was like, I gotta get my ass in there, dude. I'm down on some flatland.
Yeah.
That, not only just seeing kids stoked on BMX, but flatland specifically, like that's good shit, dude. There's no other event that's getting kids that stoked on flatland.
Nope. And it's awesome.
I guess I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry.
There might not be.
Let's not make flatland guys in my inbox like, look here, motherfucker, AFA.
I wish I need to get a mic. I want to be able to get up in there and talk.
Yeah.
That was amazing. All right. So I think, unless there's more that gets brought up, I think Corn Huckit is well handled.
Yeah.
And that was an hour talking about it.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into my dual point because we'll save it for another one, and I'll round it out, and we'll do a really put together live stream that you could turn into a video, because it's like a point that I want to make and be concise about. So
next week's episode of BMX This Evening.
Yeah, I do have one other little talking point, I guess. I don't know. Tell me about the handlebar foof.
You didn't foof it, did you? No, you didn't.
I just ice picked it.
Because I didn't foof it either. It's a really awkward foofanu.
Oh, I never even tried. Like, I was definitely gonna go try, and then I tried to foof the step up. I don't know. I started drinking beer really early, so like I did. There was a lot of things I wanted to do that I didn't, but I'm gonna go back. I'm filming a video. I won't tell you what for or what it's about or anything like that, but got a project. I've got a full-length project in the works, and I need to take a trip to Corn Huckit to get a couple things knocked off. So the foof on the handlebars will be an Instagram clip. You'll see it happen, Jeff. Don't worry. Wait, Jeff, have you ever foofed has Jeff foofed
He's never been
bucket
there.
list? Okay. You've never been to Corn Huckit, Jeff? What kind of a fucking poser are you?
Is this the point you were talking about, you wanted to say? Or is there something else?
No, that's just a little tidbit
that
I've never really put out anywhere. No, the point I wanted to bring up is about the scene's not dead. And I might have told you this.
You did.
Or maybe I told Kier. So the scene's not dead is going on a little hiatus. The Instagram page will be around, but the video not that it already wasn't. Obviously, it's been like 5 fucking months. But I guess officially, I'm gonna not even think about filming another one until January. End of January 2023, there will be an issue of The Scene's Not Dead out. But until then, I'm riding my bike, and I'm gonna try and get sponsored by Twisted Tea. That's my fucking goal.
Hear that, everybody? If you're watching this right now, send Noah's Instagram for his Twisted Tea sponsorship.
Probably not my Instagram. Just send them a well-worded letter, because if they see my Instagram, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, get this fucking wash up out of here."
Okay, don't include the Instagram. Send the most well-worded letter, email that you possibly can to Twisted Tea, so Noah can be sponsored and make unlimited Scenes Not Dead episodes.
Yeah. I'll get a Twisted Tea wrap for the HHR. I'll drive it to all the jams, and then pass out Twisted Teas to all the drinking age individuals, and then film. It'll be a great time. Yeah, no, definitely trying to get out to Corn Huckit to film. So to wrap that back in, fucking hell, that was just a shit sentence that came out of my mouth. Just nothing words. The Scene's Not Dead is going on hiatus so I can film other things for the next couple of months and focus on writing. I've got a couple projects that I'm working on. One of them is kind of like the last video that came out, the how'd you manage that? So we took the 4 team managers from that video and we formed a little crew called the Middle Management Crew, and we're just gonna keep trucking on that. We got another trip video coming out. I won't tell you when, I won't tell you where, but it's coming.
Did the
got some
trip
other
already
stuff.
happen?
No,
Okay.
no, it has
just
not.
curious on that.
Yeah, but it'll come out soon. You know, in Noah McBride terms, it'll come out soon. And then yeah, I'm gonna be doing things like taking trips out to nowhere to film for other projects that I got going on. But yeah, so you know, 3 months, 4 months. Scene's Not Dead will be back. Other than that, I'm taking a fucking break, dude.
I get
Drinking
it.
beer.
Are
Yeah.
you coming to Ohio this weekend?
I will not.
Not coming to the 9th Street Jam?
No, there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. I haven't really decided where I want to go yet. There's that. There's the OP, the Misery release that I'm like super stoked on. Just shout out to all those. I don't know if they're Kansas City guys or if they're like west of St. Louis. I think they're just straight up Kansas City guys, but it's like Dylan Ashlock, that crew.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the OP BMX crew. They got a full length coming out. I'm really stoked on. They're premiering. My local bike shop has relocated. Carl got a new location, and I'm super stoked on that. So they're having a little thing. So, I mean, I should probably get out there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on. I don't really know where I'm going yet, but I'm going somewhere. And as always, if you want to stay up to date on anything that may be happening in the Midwest BMX scene, you should follow the Scene's Not Dead on Instagram.com.
Do that.
No, but, yeah.
So, bringing up the 9th Street Jam, I have a little bit of dilemma.
Yeah.
So I'm making an entire month devoted to Nowhere and Corn Huckit on my YouTube channel. And this jam is happening this weekend. So I don't know if I should like film and edit that before this month. Like, do I break up the month by putting the event in the middle of it? Or do I edit that one first and then do everything Corn Huckit after it?
Nah, today's digital media landscape, you have to put it out like when it happened. You can't be a fucking can't be a grouch like me and just make everybody wait for months. You know what I mean? You got to put that shit out as soon as possible.
And call it a video magazine.
Yeah, hold the fuck on. No, but yeah, no, I think you call it a month of videos, but in reality it's just like 30 videos. And then like, so, you know, the one day that the 9th Street video comes out, then the last Corn Huckit day, you know, it'll be on the 1st of the next month. Like, you just got to push it back and still deliver on the 30 videos that you promised for the month. But like, I don't think you can push off that 9th Street Jam because like, yeah, you want a month worth of Corn Huckit videos.
Yeah,
But
well, I can't.
you can't shove off the 9th Street homies just so you got 30 days of uninterrupted Corn Huckit. I don't know.
See, that's why I
You do what you
wondered
want,
if I
fuck
should
it.
just upload or do the 9th Street one first and then
Oh,
do Corn Huckit month.
No, that works too. Yeah. Okay, so like start the month after the 9th Street Jam. That's even better. That's even better.
Because then I could spend Sunday editing the 9th Street Jam, upload it Monday, and then start the Corn Huckit month on Tuesday. Which, that's the problem with it. The month starts on Saturday and the jam is on Saturday. This is why it's a
We
dilemma.
just call it a fiscal month. Just do it whenever.
Yeah, it's tough.
But
because I think
I do need to get it.
You need to what?
Oh no, you go first because I'm about to change the subject completely.
I was just going to say I can't upload the jam video on Saturday. Because if you upload a jam video on Saturday, no one's watching it.
Yeah.
That's how I
See,
feel
I don't
about it
understand
anyway.
how these upload things work.
Well, I feel like people are busy on Saturdays and like they're less likely to watch a jam video.
Yeah. Well, I did mine. It's just been so long, I don't even remember. I think I always did mine on like a Thursday or a Friday. It was like after work, because it was literally just so I could come home and watch it premiere too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Carl, if you're still watching, I need your thoughts because I don't know what to do about it. I don't want to put out the 9th Street Jam video a month after it happens, but I also don't want to wait to put out Corn Huckit videos.
I got a couple side points to make.
Sidebar.
First off, yeah, filming other things like pornos, absolutely. Yeah, that is exactly what I had in mind. I'm starting the Porn's Not Dead OnlyFans account. It'll be $41.30 to subscribe, and and then yeah, Jeff, I do need to get out to New Jersey and film. I need to go out to a lot of places. I've just been working on this fucking car for so long.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do anything.
Noah is
and
the
then what was the other thing?
funniest unofficially.
Yeah.
BMX.
Also, Johnny Cinco. Is that there was a Dat Piff rapper I used to listen to that was named Johnny Cinco. I know it's hard to imagine me listening to rap, but it happened in high school. And if that is where that username comes from, please let me know because I'd be super stoked on that.
Interesting.
But anyway, yeah. I think that's all I have to say. Corn Huckit was sick. The Scene's Not Dead is dead. What else you got?
The Scene's Not Dead is not dead. It's just going into hibernation for the winter.
It's sleeping for the winter.
Next Corn Huckit, I won an anti-Nora Cup award.
Oh yeah, there's BMX Miss news. BMX Miss moved. It's now at 4 Seasons. There will be bands.
Where was
There will be. It used to be at Asylum.
Gotcha.
The fact, I know I listened to Johnny Cinco too. Yeah, he was the best mumble rapper there ever was. Anti-Nora Cup, possibly. We were talking about Mira Cup, so I keep talking about Mira Cup for BMX Miss. We're gonna try and make that happen. I got 3 months to do it. That is a very real possibility, Jeff. We might do and it wouldn't be like an anti-Nora Cup. It would be like Midwest Nora Cup, which I think in its definition is anti-Nora Cup. Like a loving spoof on Nora Cup. But yeah, so BMX Miss news. Keep that on your calendars. I think it's December 17th at 4 Seasons. It took me a second, but I got there. Yeah, and that is definitely there are kids that go, but they have very attentive parents. It's a fun it's a fun event.
Okay.
It's like I don't know, it's a late night event. It's open like a bar. Like last night or the last year we left at 3. It was something.
Okay.
Oh yeah, anti-Nora Cup. That's how I got on that tangent. Yes, that might be a thing, Jeff. I'm sorry. All over the place. But
Being at 4 Seasons means I probably won't make it in the middle of December. I need a reliable vehicle by then.
I got the world's most reliable HHR if you want to ride, dude.
Well, now that you said that, I definitely don't want to ride in it.
No, I wasn't even joking, dude. That thing really is that thing is the fucking workhorse of cars. That thing should not be running.
That's great. Jeff said same. We're posers, sorry.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's fine.
Weird, dude, you're joking. It's funny how you can see how far behind people get by what they say in the chat. Said, dude, you're joking, but Twisted Tea should legitimately sponsor The Scene's Not Dead. The show's a whole vibe, and they can even show product.
I showed their product for free already. You know what I mean? Like,
That's funny. Nice to see y'all have a lot of events happening in your neck of the woods. South Texas needs to have more events to have the community involved. Start one. Anybody can do it.
Or just move to the Midwest.
Or just, move to Ohio. We'll be more specific. Move to Ohio.
I'm working on it. Hey, dude. Gotta show Indiana some love, man. Gotta show Indiana some love. Watching that Austin Augie Canode Nose today. A lot of good. Yeah, there was some Indiana love in there.
Yeah?
It was pretty sick.
Did that just come out?
Yeah, I think they come out every Monday.
Nice.
It was cool to see like a hashtag ride for Glenn in there like naturally happen. It's cool shit, dude.
That's sweet.
Because that's dude, Midwest BMX is no fucking joke. We really are like walking around so far underground. We're walking around with torches and shit out here. Like, it's cool shit. You know what I mean?
There's no doubt about that. There is some shredders out here. And where is Indiana? It's underground, Jeff.
Yeah, you buy a fucking shovel, Jeff. You'll find it.
That's funny. What else is there to say? Is there anything else to say? Here, I'm gonna try something.
I think it's your turn for a talking point.
I'm making a talking point right now. Anyways. Did this work already? There's
no way I can't see it
already.
Don't need shovels to bash coping. I love that.
No way.
Oh, shit.
What's up, dudes?
Finally, there's dude.
Look,
that's
Dan.
my guy right there.
I figured we might as well get him in here, you
I
know?
love it. So good.
There we go.
You guys' episode is killing it. Noah, I love you.
I love it.
Who all's here, Carl? We need to know who
Corn
all's there.
Huckit's still going on here. Corn Huckit's in over till they're out.
365 days of Corn Huckit.
Who do we
I'm
have
still
there?
living Corn Huckit, man. I haven't got back to rehab lately.
Carl, who's with you?
I got Disabled Dan, I got my wife, and I got Tim from Capital.
Oh,
Nice.
Tim.
I'm also trying to sponsor Noah right now.
This is so good.
Was there anything we missed, Carl, about talking about
What's
Corn
that?
Was there anything we missed talking about Corn Huckit?
No, I think you guys touched on a lot of really, really good points. I was really stoked that one dude jumped in to talk about, and I think most importantly is when my wife and I started this, we talked about like all the contests I went back to in the day and how I wanted this to be a direct juggle of a family-friendly event where everybody felt they could bring their kids to and have a good time, but yet still let a little loose at night and give that vibe. So it's really, really about the juggle, and I think you guys did a great job in talking about that. So kudos, man. You guys have nailed it. And Noah, quit making me fucking laugh.
If that was the plan from the get-go, you guys nailed it. Yeah.
And I think you guys called it with this guy right here, and I think Brant said it best. Dan, like, not only threw down the heaviest shit he could throw down all day, but he spent the rest of his time going around meeting every kid, vibing with every person. So MVP right here, like, this dude is a class act, and I'm honored to have him here with us. So.
Yeah, if there was like a regional rider draft, kind of like the Dave Chappelle skit with the that draft, I would definitely draft Dan. That'd be like my number one pick. Dude.
Can I Dan, is this your first time to the US?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so what are your initial thoughts on Corn Huckit now, like after it happened and being there?
It's absolutely crazy, but something that like I really love about Corn Huckit is like the sense of community. You know, like everyone's cheering everyone on. Like the next generation to me is so important because like that's the next generation of our sport, and mental health is a big thing as well. And if everyone could just spread those vibes, and it doesn't matter whether you're doing a double backflip or a one-hander, who cares? Like, we're riding bikes. Like, to me, no one can ever be the best BMX rider because of the fact, we all have our unique styles. There's stuff I can do that I can't do, that someone else can do that I can't do, it's such a broad expression of like your emotion more than it is a sport to be the best at, like, you know, a team sport. If you win, you win. Like that's it. If you're up there for the champions, you know you are the best at it. Whereas BMX, it's a literal expression of emotion. So, you know, when someone's feeling the best inside, they're gonna perform the best on their bike. So that's why, like, you know, pushing the mentality side of it and bringing each other up is like so important, because then you can perform the best on your bike, you know, rather than feeling unwanted, putting your peers down. So I just cheer everyone on, no matter what they're doing. Just send it, like, just send it. And I am just as gassed for you, like, for everyone that's not from the US, just as, like, you know, stoked for you, you know, landing that trick as you probably are. Maybe even more stoked that you've just landed your first one-hander. Like, you know, I'm sitting there screaming, but that's what it's about to me. You know, the next generation, looking after the kids, bringing them up, and, you know, having a safe place to ride, because I come from absolutely nothing. So, yeah.
People's change words right there.
Yeah, that's like a solid point. And to like bring it around in the same vein that he's saying, like, I'm just as stoked on him doing like that double flip as I was about ZR doing that 180, right? Like it's the same in my mind, to where like somebody who's like counting tail whips and bar spins might not get it, but and maybe it's just a Midwest thing, but like BMX is such a personality-driven sport. It's not just about the trick or what you're doing. It has a lot to do with the environment in which you do it, and like the impact it has on me from the deck. So like that double flip is fucking sick, but also, you know, seeing her like 180 that step up is the same.
Yeah.
Like I probably literally had the same reaction. I probably was like
100%. I was screaming, absolutely screaming. So stoked for it.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I got a point to make on that note. I just want to say, and this, I just got the tag like maybe an hour ago that her name's Ziara, right?
Yeah.
The girl
Yeah.
rider? Okay, so when they first pulled up, I think it was like the day before Corn Huckit, I was doing some dumb fakey extra stuff like I always do. And I heard her and her dad literally go, "Oh, wow, it actually is possible." They had been talking about that trick, I guess. I just got a tag a little bit ago. She went and landed it. I guess now
so
after Corn Huckit, she posted a clip and tagged me. So the coolest thing, dude. I'm so stoked on that.
Yeah, that's stuff, dude.
When you asked anything to add to Corn Huckit, Brant, I want to make sure, like, I know we always talk about this, but talking about it again and stuff, like, Corn Huckit is once a year, yes, and it is absolutely amazing time, but majority of the people I know that come to Corn Huckit and stuff are people that I've met outside of Corn Huckit. So please, everybody, remember, we're open year round. We're free. You can come here and camp for a couple days and hang out with us when you're on your travels. Like, just remember that it's not just Corn Huckit like Swamp Fest, and, you know, it's its own thing and everything, but that's one time a year. We're a year-round facility, and then all our gate fees and everything that we raise at Corn Huckit go to grow our facility so that we can continue to offer it year-round at absolutely no cost. Like, so everybody that watches this, don't think you got to wait till next year and hear the announcement. Come hang out with me this winter. Come hang out any time that you want. That's why this place is here, and I just want people to always know that.
It's like a positive attitude Skatopia. It's like you can run away to the nowhere compound and like work for your living, and they're just gonna give you like a pat on the back and like a solid smile, you know?
I'm really probably gonna shirt next year, Noah, and it's all inspired by you. It's gonna say Corn Huckit 11, peace, love, and hippie shit.
Peace, love, and hippie shit. Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
You did say that.
You definitely did.
Whoops.
That was perfect.
I'll take 3.
That is amazing.
Oh man, I'll take my royalties in hams or paps.
Twisted Tea, dude, you're blowing it.
You're right.
There goes that endorsement.
Yeah.
That's great.
He did a really good job of the recap, and Brant, you know, I can't thank you enough. Like, I didn't ask you to make 30 days of Corn Huckit. I'm not expecting anything from you by any means other than your friendship and what you bring to the show. But just sitting here listening to you, I'm so excited about. I don't know what all videos you got coming out, but I am super stoked, man, and I'm going to be at the edge of my seat to see everyone.
There, so far, with everything that I've gone through, there are 20.
Jeez.
Yeah. And there's still, like, everything that happened after Corn Huckit and the next day to go through.
I am especially excited to see Dan's. We've been hanging out, and I've been getting to know him more and more. And I don't know that I know a better human being. Like, if anybody can watch Dan's story when you release it, Brant, please do, because I think he's the top of what BMX should be.
Yeah. That one, hopefully I can get on it sooner than later and use the fact that I have a month's worth of stuff edited to get it, like, edited quicker than Breeze.
Yep.
So that it can be up as part of that month. Get all of the extra B-roll and stuff, because that one's gonna take a little bit more effort.
No, I know you wanna nail it, and I appreciate that. A lot of pros can be talented and ride a BMX bike, but it takes a true champion to inspire, and that's what this guy does. He's on a mission to inspire.
When do you go back to the when do you go back across the pond, Dan?
I'm going back on the 5th, so we got a few more days riding, and yeah, back to the UK.
Do you ever have a day not fucking riding?
No, we've taken a few hours of relaxation each day, but we've got a ride day planned every day till he goes.
Believe it. I believe it.
Man, you know he's got to come back and come to Ohio and ride Rays and
Yeah.
all that good stuff, right?
Which part of the UK are you from?
I'm from Essex, so like Basildon, Essex. That's where I was born. But I'm staying further up north at the minute, near Middlesbrough, by the North Sea. Just been focusing on my mental and physical health more this year, you know, and then put it into BMX, and it's clearly paying off. Like, I can walk further than 50 meters, and yeah, we're chilling. So,
Oh yeah.
staying out of the way.
This might be a politically incorrect question, but can you literally ride a bike better than you can walk?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's what I thought. That's fucking.
My bike was a wheelchair for a very long time. Like, up until the 5th of October last year, like, I struggled to walk 50 meters unaided, whether that be with my bike, still able to do double flips, but I couldn't, you know, walk 50 meters without sweating and pretty much collapsing without some sort of aid around me. But now we've been training very hard in the gym, you know, the mentality comes along with it. So, and once you put both of those together, you know, you get a really positive, you know, result. And we haven't rushed it. It was body weight first. We focused on mobility and, you know, becoming mobile before strong. And Dan, my coach, big shout out to Dan Logos. He's worked really hard with me in the same sense, you know. Will never take anything from me, you know, but I've I've embraced the gift of, you know, mobility. And as a disabled person, if someone can gift you mobility, that has more monetary value than anything on this planet. Because now I can run 100 meters, I can be on my feet all day, I can dig some dirt jumps with Noah. Like, it's the small things. Like, I can walk from one room to the other with a cup without spilling it everywhere. And because of the, you know, the wobble, we're stronger, less wobble now. But yeah,
I've never seen determination like this, guys. Like, we bought a unicycle to take to shows this year, and I dicked around on this stupid thing, just eating crap everywhere. And Dan gets on this unicycle, and I'm thinking to myself, this is probably not a good idea. And he immediately just eats shit, and then he eats shit, and then he eats shit. And like 30 minutes goes by, and he says, ow, like countless times, but who am I to tell him, like he said, what he can't do? It's what he can do, is that's what he says. And an hour later, this fucker's riding that thing better than I learned, and then he's going completely down my driveway, and like, that's what I said, he's here to inspire. I've never seen determination like that in my life, and I was just blown away. And I just thought, anytime that I bitch about any injury hurting, I literally have no excuse, and this guy has shown me that I feel like a big sissy if I ever complain about anything after watching Dan.
Give the fucker a unicycle for a half hour, you lose a rider to the circus, dude.
We joked about that. He glides away into the circus.
Damn it.
And then
Could've been
Dan rode a
elevator.
unicycle into the cornfield, never to be seen again.
Circus so Dan. Is go on, dude.
That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, I hope I didn't just steal any content from your
No.
Dan featurette you got coming up. But
No, to
I'll
be
ask.
honest with you, I'm thinking about what we talked about, and we really didn't even get super far into like the actual like disability side of things. We kind of just talked about you, right?
before we get super deep into
Yeah.
it, I just want to say that fucking tattoo is like my favorite tattoo I've ever seen, dude. I thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever, dude.
So question then, I'm curious if because this was an idea by was it Mike or was it Kier?
Here.
It was Kier. It was Kier, Huck's dad. And I think it's a wonderful idea, like to back this guy up when he goes places to an event or something. You guys think it'd be cool to have little stickers and kids could represent and put those on and show
Oh, dude.
love for this guy? Like, I think that what a beautiful thing, man. Like,
Yeah.
That
Like
would
a
be
uniform.
sweet.
that's the message.
You're opening up a floodgate, though, of like temporary tattoos that could be marketed by BMX companies just to show support for their favorite rider. You got like your disabled Dan temporary tattoo, and then before you know it, fucking Logan Martin's got the whole market covered because he's just all tattoos. Put yourself out of business like that, Carl.
I'm thinking bigger. I'm thinking way bigger. He's gonna be the next Nelly with the Band-Aid on his face.
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh man.
Next Nelly.
I think that's a fantastic idea, though, and that should definitely happen.
I'd buy one.
You know, I will say, Brant, when you just asked, you said something about got to get him to Ohio, stuff like that. I mean, you have anybody that you've known me a decade now, like when we established these relationships and stuff, you know 100% we'll be seeing Dan again. So we'll
Yup.
definitely got to make some of that stuff happen, because I think all of us, like, the coolest thing, what we say about these events all the time, is that people can be at any side of the world, and these events are a good excuse to make our best friends no matter where they're at. So, like, this guy probably made 100 best friends, and all of us did. Like, that's what I love more than anything about these events, is the bonds that it makes.
Yeah. Speaking on getting him out to
Like,
Ohio and what you just said there, like, I think my favorite like honor in BMX is the like, hey man, come out my way sometime, I got a couch you can
Yes.
sleep on, or like, you always got a place to stay like by me. And I
Yep.
say that to a lot of people because I mean that's BMX, and that's like that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, dude, fuck, get out to the Midwest sometime. If you can't sleep on my couch, or if you don't want to sleep on my couch, I can find you a couch. Like, you're always
love-
fucking welcome. Like, we got you,
So
dude.
it sounds like you've said it's okay if and your wife's cool with us bringing 200-300 dudes to your house.
Yeah, well, she's my girlfriend, but yeah, yeah, you guys can come out. I only got 2 couches in the house, but I mean, I could probably get 50 people inside. I could probably get 10 in the garage.
I can put 20 in my box outside.
Oh yeah, okay. So what are we up to? We're almost at 100.
Dude, we're good. We're good.
I don't know
So what
what
are you doing
we-
on things?
On Thanksgiving? I guess I'm riding bikes, dude. I don't know. I don't know what we'd ride. We got the Life Bowl here in Muncie, but transfer
I'll ride
land's
it.
gone. I don't know. Yeah, you ride fucking
We'll-
ride the curb,
ride
won't
it.
you?
For a curve to flip, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. He flew halfway around the world, and yesterday we were riding a 2-foot prefab spine.
Yeah. That's what happens every time I go out to see Brant. I drive 4 hours. I go to Worcester, and I'm like, why in the fuck do I do this? Like, what is my problem?
Yeah, because above anybody, it's literally never the spot. It's who you share it with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I thought he had something to say.
No.
Ooh, no, that
Hell
was
yeah.
it.
That's
No, I
funny.
don't know what else you can say about that. I mean, that's That's how it is, man.
No, can I say on a personal note, like, I knew you were pretty decent on a bike, but
You didn't know I rode like that?
dude,
I
you
love that.
like you hit me with a couple bangers where I'm like, I don't want to follow Noah. I'm gonna sit here for a bit and like let somebody else ride after him. Like, you were shutting it down, dude. Like, wow.
That's why I don't post a lot. I don't put myself in my videos anymore, and I don't ride a lot. And I don't ride a lot for a couple reasons. Mostly because like I feel like I got worse like when I started filming. And well, I kind of fucked myself over because before I filmed, before I filmed other people, I never filmed myself. So like all the cool shit I've done in my life it's like, you know, fishing stories. It's like, oh yeah, one time I foo-fanooed the fucking Eiffel Tower, you know? And so yeah, when I do ride, that's like my favorite thing to hear people say. They're like, dude, I didn't even know you rode fucking bikes. Like I live for that, dude.
Dude, you're awesome. Yeah, you're like a little surprise.
Yeah.
Secret
I
shredder.
didn't even do like half the shit I wanted to too. That's why like when everybody
I
was
won't
like,
say
oh, that was so sick, I was like, man, if
I
I
will
was
not-
as cool as I thought I was, you guys would be flabbergasted.
Not say any of the tricks you did, but the night before session, you weren't lying. Like, Corn Huckit was amazing, but there was so much energy that night before where I looked around a few times and I'm like, holy shit, I need to go to bed. This is insane. Like,
Yeah.
it was popping off. And if you're watching this stream, you bet just watch what Brant puts out, because Noah threw down a couple fucking bangers the night before that left me kind of speechless.
That could have been its own competition in 2005.
Yeah, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dan would take a line and there was like 40 tricks in one line, and I'm like, how is he still going?
Well, and the thing about Dan during that session was I went in there and I was riding at like 3 and he was going hard. I left, drank for like 3 hours, came back to ride, and he was still fucking going at it. I don't think he ever sat down, dude.
Yeah, it was wild.
It's a good one, and that's like not even gonna be part of the Corn Huckit highlights. It's its own thing.
It's the pre-Huckit.
The pre-Huckit, dude. That's a great idea. Holy shit.
I gotta write that down.
You could charge wristbands for pre-Huckit.
There we go. I added that to my my notes.
Huckit, you did.
What's that?
I've only ever seen Noah ride. Am I the only one? Pretty close, dude.
Noah kills it. The first time I ever rode with Noah, he did like 100 different tricks on a big box jump.
Yeah. Well, that was at a time when I grew up riding Muncie indoor, and that was a Brian Knott built skate park, and those were real fucking jumps. I mean, they were the ramps that like Brett grew up riding, dude. Like, they were no fucking joke. So like, you know, I grew up in an area where I had Glenn and Brett at full fucking power, and that's just like what was at my local, you know. So like, for me being a shitty, it's you know, local kid shit. Like, I thought I was just like some kid on a bike, but then people would come from out of town and they'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Ride, you know what I mean? It's just how it happens.
It's awesome.
Yeah. For anybody watching, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm dog shit. All I do is foof news and fucking bar spins. I'm not that good. Leave me alone.
So, Brant, we'll talk about this more later and make it more official. And I don't know if you saw my notes or not, but anybody watching, I want the whispers to get out there. We know everybody wanted to ride that indoor so bad, and you were right, Noah. Like, I had too much, and you can't do that. Like, it doesn't work out at Corn Huckit like I want it to. But the wife and I decided that we're gonna pull the trigger and figure out a date, probably in February, and do a big like winter contest in the indoor.
That's a banger idea. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
give everybody something else to look forward to for coming here, and kind of focus on the indoor that way, and try and come up with a good pro purse, stuff like that. And I think we're we're pretty excited about that. And Brant, you'll be the first person to know when we figure out the exact date, but most likely early February. So.
And I don't want my point earlier to make it seem like I was bummed that there was no, jam in the indoor. I mean, I think
you were right.
I think that it worked out great because there's no jam in the indoor, but that's why you show up on fucking Fridays so you can have that magical session beforehand. You know what I mean? That's how any other fucking, like when you go to, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do this.
You're gonna bring up Swamp Fest again.
Yeah. When you go to Swamp Fest, they don't hold jams on any of the fucking cool shit, dude. They hold jams on that shitty ass fucking Sabrosa rail, and then you gotta stand there for an hour watching, Scooby Doo jump into mud. Sometimes BMX is not about where the fucking jam happens. It's about where you are.
Yeah, and the big thing was, and I think you touched on it afterwards, but I really thought deep about it, and we had just finished 90% of that pump track, and the hype was so real on it that I thought, if we have a jam in here, the kids, you won't get everybody getting to just play, and we wanted everybody to be able to just play, and I think that worked out well, even though there's a few dudes that would have liked to have shown their talents, at a jam inside. I think it was more important that everybody just got to enjoy the indoor, and then we kept the contests outside. So
I think it did exactly that, because anytime you'd go in there, I walked in the middle of the day between events, and I didn't even recognize anyone who was riding inside. Not a single person. I was like, I don't know who any of you are. And there's there was only 5 or 6 people riding the area with the box jump, and then there was probably 5 or 6 people riding the pump track, and it was them doing exactly what you're saying, just getting to play.
Yeah, and that's what I love, because then we get the final outcome of the jam that I got last year. Hearing it again, is everybody saying, so many countless people came up and said best event I've ever been to, or my kid just had the most fun they've ever had in their life, stuff like that. And I can't wipe the smile off my face when I hear stuff like that, because then I know it was a success and we did what we wanted to do.
That's a real compliment, dude, because kids do not fucking lie. If your kid has a bad time, they're not gonna say no.
That's the truth.
I can flip it upside down.
What's the underground word on the outdoor ramp? Is it coming back? Is it scrap wood? What's the deal?
Yeah, I really wish you wouldn't have said bring the outdoor back, because I think I made the conscious decision yesterday when I was sitting on the deck that it's time to go.
Time to go. That's fine, man. It's just space for more shit.
It will leave a blank spot, and I don't know what we will do, and I can't say 100%, but I know a vert ramp is somewhere in my head at some point. Is the only thing.
I will fucking move to Nebraska. I swear to God, I will move to Nebraska.
Hold on. I'm just saying, because I will. So I'm going to tell you a story. You see how there's that linkage off the barn and the shed, so that you can jump off the shed into the road?
Good.
You know what I'm talking about, Noah?
Yeah. You're going to build an actual Skatopia.
No, I'm just saying, careful what you wish for and the promises you make, because when Sean Burns was wanting to jump off my barn, and he said it'd be really cool if those buildings were attached, a week later I sent him a picture, and he says I kind of wasn't serious. So just be careful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll move there, but I'll definitely come Ragabond for a couple months.
Yeah, I don't know if I can vert ramp.
I might have to take one for the team. I mean, it's still in the Midwest. It's fine.
Yeah, it is I think it's much like Flatland. I think it's another not a lost art by any means, because it's there. Woodward has it. You see Jamie Bestwick clips every day of destroying vert,
right?
Stuff like that. But I don't think the opportunity is there like it used to be when there were nothing in Nebraska. When I grew up, Tony Hillhouse was a pro vert rider, and he had a 10-foot vert ramp in Lincoln. And that's what we grew up learning how to ride, was a 10-foot vert ramp. And you just you don't see stuff like that nowadays, and I'd like kids to have that opportunity if they wanted it. So
yeah, I think that's part of the reason it's gone away, is because of the death of 10-foot vert ramps, because everything you see now is 13 and a half foot, 2 foot of
Yeah, I
vert,
won't be
and
building a vert ramp like that. If I build one, it's
Right.
going to be for 11. That's max.
11 half foot of vert, beautiful ramp. So and like I've been slowly getting into vert since I was like it's been a real slow burn since I was like 13, you know what I mean? And so now I ride vert every chance I get, but okay, I say that it's
Every
like,
chance
what?
you get is twice a
what?
year.
Exactly, 3 times a year. I think I rode vert like 3-4 times last year. And then like some days vert's not you don't just go casually shred vert. Like if you ride vert 3 times a year, one of those days you're not feeling it, it's like, okay, I dropped in and now I'm over it, like it's a hard thing to get into.
It is.
Yep. That sounds like a cool idea, Carl, but I think you should build a freaking gate around it and have a lock on it so that you can make sure you are in control of who's on that thing.
Brant wants a gate around any quarter pipe over 4 foot tall. So
No.
that's him.
All I can think about is people drunk at Corn Huckit climbing up on the vert ramp and dying.
That's BMX,
Yeah.
dude.
Okay, fair.
They signed a fucking waiver, Brent. They'll be fine.
Yeah, you guys have no idea the anxiety I have when we play on the 30-foot wall. Like,
Oh, believe me, I do.
man,
I have the same anxiety because I'm
Yeah.
standing beside it filming.
I'm very glad you guys mentioned Kaylin because she was the toughest. Like, that was insane. I'm like, oh God, she's gonna hate BMX. Like, because I know that girl very well. I love her to death. Her and her mom, they come here, and I was just thinking, that's it. Like, she just took this mega fall to her face, skid slide down that. We're done. She pops up, hands go up, looks at everybody, and I'm like, yeah, she just she showed how tough she is, and then she got up and rode it again, and I couldn't be more proud of her. That was so sick.
Yep.
Yeah, I might be just straight up talking out of my ass, but I'm pretty sure that was like all on her own volition too. She was like, I gotta do it again.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yep.
do it. And
Yeah,
that's
her
like
100%. 100%.
BMX
The girls,
as hell.
do you take that and Ziara jumping the mega? Wow. Like, what a time to shine. And good to you again, Noah, saying that it's not like female riders nowadays. They're proving they are BMX riders. That gave me chills when you said that, because I truly believe that's where we're at right now with the progression. So that was really cool.
Yeah, and I think that's just like the mindset that this new generation is coming into, right? Because you had girls that have been going at it for so long to get it to that point, that the girls
Yep.
that are like in their early teens now, that I mean, they don't even have to think about it. Like, that's just how it is,
Yeah.
Like, Nina's put in enough work on the front end that they
Good
can just
Lord,
come in and be BMX riders, and I'm
Yep.
fucking stoked on that. It's sick.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of cool shit BMX is headed towards, definitely.
Carl, did you know that Ziara crashed on the Mega before the Mega's event and still sent it during the event?
See, I didn't know that when she jumped it, and then I came to the flatland pad later, and she was worked. You could see like all the bruises, and she just looks at me, and I'm like, holy crap, you sent it. And like, yeah, and then that's when I found out, and I was even more amazing. She just absolutely shreds, and I can't say enough cool things about her and her dad. I really can't.
Yep.
Her dad gets me stoked, dude. Just like how stoked he gets. It's like
Yep.
secondhand stoke, shout out. But yeah,
Yes.
for sure. He just gets super stoked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm still not off the high, like, as you can see, like, people aren't gone yet. They're slowly filtering out, but
Fucking Tim, get out of there, dude.
I'll get hot. I'm gonna hate to get back to reality in a couple weeks. That's gonna suck.
Couple weeks.
What's the next show you guys got lined up?
What's that?
You guys got any shows lined up?
Yeah, as soon as we're done with this, we do a show for the Boy Scouts, and then we do a big car show at the end of the month that we're stoked on. And then between that, I'm just finishing the last section of the pump track, and then gonna start planning on pushing that contest February event. 'cause I got to start advertising early. So figuring that stuff out, yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. We gotta continue to do big things to raise money for a bathroom.
Yep. Carl, on the note of that February thing, find out when Women's Weekend is going to be before you plan that.
Okay. Thank you, Brant. Like I can find out is great. I definitely don't want to overlap stuff.
Yeah. I did want to tell you too, I was thinking about it. I don't know if there's a better way to run an event than the way that Corn Huckit is ran. An hour for each spot, like maybe you could make an argument that that's like a little too long, but I don't even think that. I think an hour at each spot for everyone to do what they want to do until everybody's basically done, and then 10 awards, including adults and young shredders at each of the different things. I just can't think of a better way to run an event where everyone will walk away feeling like they got to do what they wanted to do, and they were stoked on what they got to see and what other people got to do. It's like, I can't think of, there's like no room for people to really be bummed except for thinking about like, oh, there wasn't a indoor section to it. Like,
well, it's just a product of what the Nowhere compound is, because like how the fuck else would you even do it, you know? Like, because if you just had like a traditional jam there where it's like, oh, you show up and you ride bikes, I wouldn't fucking see, you'd literally ride by yourself all weekend. The thing's like 20 acres wide, dude. You'd never see anybody. Like,
I
that's
like
just,
how we've gone from 6 acres to 10 acres to 20 acres.
it's fucking 100 acres wide, dude.
It's
so big.
Thank you, Brant. Like but I mean, you remember from 14, like, and we've changed like each year, and we've only ran that exact curriculum the last 3 years because we kind of had to trial and error to figure things out. And I will say this year I paid very close attention, and this is huge kudos to all the pro riders that were here. You'll go to a lot of events, you know, that I remember being younger and being like an intermediate level kid in the first contest and stuff, and you're sitting up there in a ramp and you don't, like, unless you push your way in, all the big guys got to get their stuff in because they're top dogs. And
yeah,
Are we talking
I don't
scrap
think
days?
Cornhusk like that. I was so happy to see the solid mix of, no matter what event we were running at the time, of the pros that came here are all a class act. They don't make it about them. They make it about us and everyone that's there. And you'd see like a little kid, then you'd see a double flip, then you'd see like
yeah,
Yara Mega for the first time, and like you just see that mix going on, and just so proud at the way the riders back each other up everywhere. It's so cool.
yeah.
You talking about scrap contests earlier? Is that what we were getting at? Because I watched those like those videos,
I was there.
and I was like, dude, if I was like, you know, if I had got the opportunity to be around during the scrap days, it's like, I don't even think I'd fucking ride bikes right now. It'd be so intimidating.
It was very intimidating. I rode 3 of them, and yeah, it was very scary at first. I remember I started first contest there like as a beginner, and one thing about contests back then that I noticed that I didn't want kids to feel nowadays. I remember to place in my first Hoffman contest, I was at scrap. I tucked the 6-foot double coping spine, like 540 air. This is beginner. And so like, I don't feel like that's a beginner status, but that's kind of where BMX was. They didn't have a true beginner class. And so every time we run a contest, we really try and have like a true beginner class. Like you're popping out of the ramp, learning 1-footers, stuff like that. So yeah, so you combine that with trying to drop in with some of the big dogs and everything, and you were always scared shitless riding those contests. So
Makes me think of like all that old Baco footage when they'd go to the Rampage contests, and there'd just be like
Yep.
Eterno and all those dudes like flying around, and then you got all those like little shitty Baco kids running around with their mom's VHS camera, and it's like, dude, they had some fucking balls. Like you go to Rampage, and they're like 180 in this box in 1988, and then they're doing like flatland tricks over in the corner. It's like,
Yeah, the Rampage. I think I went to literally, I don't know how many of those, but I was at 10 or 12 of those. They were so good.
dude, the Midwest is the shit. Like,
Did you guys? Mike Kaiser was here. Speaking of Midwest contests, Mike Kaiser, like
I saw him.
freaking ran the pit. Like
Yeah.
Mike was here and helped us judge trails and hung out all day and or I mean, I guess he didn't help judge trails. He helped judge he helped kids with bikes. I'm sorry, he was like over there doing mechanics. But it was such an honor for me because Mike was the pit was my favorite skate park, and Mike was always so nice to me as a kid during my career and stuff. And for him to ride his motorcycle out here, help out with the event, and tell me how great it was, like, dude, I was beyond stoked.
Full circle.
Kaiser, and then you had Strebe come through in the course of like 2 weeks.
Dude, Street.
BMX legend you are, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody go that fast, that balls to the wall, still have that much control, and be 46 years old. Like,
How's it feel to have all these?
he ruined the flag wall first try, guys. Like,
Brian did that?
yes.
It's on the Instagram, right?
Ruben did?
First try. He just goes, he's over there dicking around with my skid loader, and he goes, I'm going to help you, but it's for my own selfish needs because I want to ride your wall. So he quickly fixes it, like, in a good way, but shittily in comparison to how you'd have it, like, riding smooth.
Yeah.
But so he puts a little bit of patchwork for a piece of wood, and first try just rockets down that thing and Rubens my flag. And
I
I'm
tagged
like,
you in the video,
What?
Noah.
Yeah, that is unbelievable.
dude, he's still seriously a nut.
I can't
so
believe you let
incredibly
him
good.
do that, dude. Dylan would be pissed at you. Like, that's
Who would be mad?
the government. He's up there, dude.
The
That's
government.
unbelievable.
Why is the government mad?
Can't say anything else. He'll show up and fucking hit me.
No, you forget we're an all-American made company.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
funny.
just. Yeah, that's insane. Strebe.
Yeah,
is-
Streepy's a nut.
Oh my god.
Streepy's. I don't know if anybody else was wall riding the Lexon window in the pump track, like at Cornhucket. I don't know if you saw that, Brant.
I
or
saw
not.
tire marks there, and I wondered what that was from.
Brian Strebe.
Well, Streeby did it like we were standing there in the pump track, and I go, well, here's the deal, Brian. Like, Sam and I were talking whether or not this is possible to double, and we put up this glass just in case somebody rides over it. Within 10 minutes, he took away every line from every rider, and we're like, okay, well, thanks, Brian.
So did he jump from the roller to the plexiglass? Is that how that worked?
So he did a couple different lines, and I posted a few of them, but like he'd jump out of the little berm and he'd hip over the roller, then hit the next roller, wall ride over the glass,
Yeah.
then curve wall ride the 180 loop and hold on to the wall for another 10 feet until he could jump out into the roller.
Yeah,
And-
that's the where he gapped. He
Yeah.
doubled out the berm. I love that. That was.
We timed it because he was moving so fast. From the time he jumped the corner, the very first berm, to the time he exited there was 3 seconds. So three
who do you-
giant gaps in 3 seconds. Like, there's no time to think. It's just whap, whap, whap. He's a nut.
I'm
Who
watching
do you
this
think
right
goes
now.
faster? Do you think Brian goes faster or Haas Podka goes faster?
I would say Brian did a few more lines, but Noah was like a rocket in there, and I didn't know what to say. It was like he had dynamite in his ass. Like, it was so fast. And then he tabled and touched either his tire or gold foam ceiling.
He did the Big Daddy. You got to move the fucking rafters. Need a
Yeah.
10-mile radius. Yeah.
Yeah. Haas Vodka is, yeah. I'd like to see him and Brian race, actually.
Oh, dude, I don't think
It'd be
you'd
good.
It's like assembling all the fucking Infinity Stones. That'd be a bad time.
Yeah.
Seeing this transfer from Brian is amazing. After riding that,
He's like twice our age, Brant. That's crazy.
it's not far off. He's probably close to twice your age, since you're younger than me.
Oh, he's definitely twice my age.
So funny thing about that, he's still riding it. He's riding a carbon frame, and
he's only got the one bike.
I know, and no, he's got more than one, but it was creaking the whole time, like exponentially, just rip. And I posted that video, and I had all these people comment, "Your ramps look nice, but they don't sound like they ride very good."
Just kidding. It's actually the frame.
Yeah, it was awesome.
All right,
boys, I'm gonna head to bed. I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. I gotta wake up early and go ride with Dan. So
have fun.
That blows. I gotta wake up early and ride.
Bye, Tim.
Yeah, I'm back to the office. All right, love you guys. We'll see ya.
Oh, I didn't mean to end that. That's my fault.
Did you hang up on me?
I didn't mean to do that. We're back.
It's fine.
I feel like we could wrap it up anyway.
Yeah, probably ought to.
That was a really great way to end it, though.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I was stoked to have them in there, and yeah, and I wasn't gonna acknowledge it while Carl was in here, but to the person who is dogging, all I'm gonna say is that if Carl read your message, he would still invite you to come out and have fun and enjoy his place for free, and that's the kind of person he is. So to have the attitude that you do, it sucks to be you. And that's all I have to say about it. With that being said, be at Corn Huckit next year. Sounds like you need to be at the Nowhere compound in February.
Sometime.
Kim came in clutch saying Women's Weekend at Ray's is the 10th through 12th. So there'll be that at Ray's. Then there'll be a contest in the Nowhere building.
Yeah. My closing remarks. The flip whip was Adam Strebe, not Brian Strebe. And we should do a live stream with Dan sometime.
Dan,
just talk to him.
Disabled Dan? I had that thought, like I wanted to do that at some point with him talking. And I almost thought I wanted to wait until he was back at home to do it.
Probably. Yeah, and I don't know what is in your featurette, but maybe wait till that comes out too.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, that's a good point because he'll be back home. I might have even thought about that as well, thinking about waiting until that came out because that would mean he was at home and then be able to chat there. I just have to gather some B-roll, watch through it, make some notes, gather some B-roll because he makes a lot of references in there to stuff that I can actually show.
Right.
So yeah, that'll happen hopefully, and there's the time difference we'll have to account for, but I don't know that he'll care too much.
It's got to be close to like 9-10 hour difference, something like that.
It's 5 or 6.
Really? That's bad.
Depending upon where he's at, it could be 7, but I think it's 5 or 6.
Damn.
Yep. So this has been.
Shout out to David Linville in the chat. Finally, somebody from Indiana.
That's funny. Shout out to you for joining in on this, and we'll do it again. BMX This Evening. If Casey decides he's given up on BMX After Dark, we're stealing the title back, and we're gonna make this BMX After Dark.
I like BMX This Evening. Actually, makes it sound more. Or maybe we should do one. We should do one where you host. We should do one where I host.
What do you mean by host?
Yeah, since we got 2 names, we got one where you host. We got it. I mean, it means nothing. It'd basically be the same fucking show, but have one where, like, I don't know what I'm trying to do. Like, it'd be 2 different entities, and we have one, you know, because I want to do a live stream. I'd come on and be like, "What's going on, guys? My name is Noah McBride, and welcome to BMX This Evening. On tonight's schedule, we have, you know, that kind of shit."
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
But-
super unstructured, so yours can be the structured ones, and mine will be like, "Hey, Noah, what's up?"
Yeah. I don't know.
I like how you come in here with a plan, and I am excited for it to move forward with more of these.
Yeah, well, if I don't come in with a plan, then I'll just end up pissed drunk like the first one, just rambling about dumb shit. So
That was fun.
that was a good time.
Either
Oh, fuck,
way,
I'm sorry, Parrish. My bad. All right, we better cut this thing off. I'll be up here till fucking midnight, dude.
yeah, and I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah. I gotta work in the fucking morning, dude. I gotta be on the job site at 7. It's an hour away. I'm fucked.
God,
Yeah.
good luck, and we'll talk soon. We'll do another one of these in the next week or 2.
God bless. Love you all. Have a good night.